I think if you want to get the Star Wars sequel era back on people's radar in a positive way, you need to give it a Star Wars The Clone Wars style show. I'm not a sequel trilogy hater, but my biggest problem with it is that I just felt like a lot of the things it did felt hollow. The Resistance just felt like a knockoff version of the Rebels. The First Order started off with its stormtroopers being portrayed as a bit more competent than the Empires. Then in 8 and 9 that just kind of stopped being a thing. I think there's a lot of things that were introduced in the sequel trilogy that would have been interesting if we had time to actually get to know it. And there were also things that came out in the prequels that we didn't really get much time to explore, but then other projects came out and really helped to flesh out that era and make it feel more distinct, more interesting. Some of y'all might not remember this, but the prequels were not always beloved. There was a time where they were really hated and people thought that they ruined Star Wars forever. But now people love it. People eat up anything that comes from that era because they actually gave it time to develop and expand. They didn't just give up on it because people didn't like episode 1 and 2. And the Clone Wars series does such a great job, in my opinion, of bridging the gap between episode 2 and 3 in a way that makes episode 3 way more satisfying. And I truly believe that if they took the time and got some passionate, hardworking people on this, they could make a series that does the same for the sequels. I think there's a lot of potential there. And while I understand why some people aren't really excited about anything that has to do with the sequels, I think if we give something a chance, it might wind up making the movies more enjoyable, like a lot of the other Star Wars projects did for the other trilogies. I think the space between episode 8 and 9 is perfect for that. You got Kylo Ren in the First Order, you got Rey doing her Jedi training, along with the potential to just really expand on all the side characters to make them feel more fleshed out. Let me know what you think, but personally, I would really love to see something like this eventually.